Well, good morning, folks. Hope you're all well and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, been having a bit of issue with this here, which is my MaxxAir Fan. The issue I've had is literally, I noticed that I was driving along one of the days, and as I was hitting some bumps and all that sort of stuff, I could hear this coming loose. And not the actual mesh, but the actual fan itself coming loose. And then as you hit a bump, you could hear it just bounce loosely and hit the top of the van. I then started to notice that when you open it, everything's fine, but then you start to get that noise, and it happens again when it comes down as well. And there's another little piece of metal that's just fallen off. What I noticed the other day when I did an initial inspection at the top of the fan, when I stripped it all out, was like this tiny little bit of metal here, and that tiny bit of metal had come away from what is the lowering mechanism. So I got in touch with the company that I got the Max fan from. It's the parts and all that are still under warranty, so they've sent me some replacement parts. So what I'm going to attempt to do is literally get upstairs on top of the roof and strip the Max fan out and replace the lowering mechanism. So the first thing I need to do is obviously remove the fuse and then raise the actual Max fan from the inside manually to expose the rear end of the Max fan. So let's go and do that now. So now I've raised the MaxxAir Fan, I need to take these two screws out of here, which will allow me to drop the rain shield down and lift this up from here. So let's do that now. Now inside here you got these which you need to remove. And remove these, although one's just dropped inside there. All the damage is in here where it's all broke away. So I'm going to have to remove this screw and that screw to release all this, and then take out the spring arm that's screwed in on this side here. So let's do that now. So you can see how this is all completely broken and shattered. So that's the lowering mechanism. Pretty pants. So now we're going to try and replace it with this lowering mechanism. So what I'm going to have to do is take the screw off the back of here and place that back into there. take the screw off here, take the spring off and replace it back onto this one. So one of the things you need to be aware of is checking your lowering mechanisms every 12 to 18 months. Again, if you start to hear a banging sound, that could be the reason why. After doing some research, you get to see there's quite a few people out there that have said exactly the same thing, that these after about 12 to 18 months just shatter. They're not the best engineered things, but thankfully mine was under warranty still, so I got a replacement part, but might be essential. I think they're £40 on eBay, and I'll put a link in the video to carry a spare. You can see how that's just literally shattered. So one little thing you need to do is hold the new mechanism and turn it clockwise until it can't go any further, and then once you've got that, anti-clockwise, and ensure that the lines of the top of the bolts match up with the mechanism itself, this flat part here and the bolts. So turn it clockwise and then anti-clockwise back and level it up, then refit. Place the lowering mechanism, screwed in the spring and returned, put that back onto the lowering arms. That's all back in place. Now all I've got to do is put these white retainers back on, lift the MaxxAir Fan in, screw it all back up, and then manually test the MaxxAir Fan before putting the fuse back into the fuse box. So we've just manually lowered the MaxxAir Fan, so what I'm going to do is put these screws back in. Now I'm going to manually raise the MaxxAir Fan. So now all I'm going to do is manually test the MaxxAir Fan. Well, I've tested it. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments because I don't think the fan is opening fully upwards, but everything seems to work for now, so we shall see how it goes. I've got to do a drive in a minute, so I'm gonna test that to see if it bounces around, which I don't think it will now. So fingers crossed. That is my MaxxAir Fan issues solved. I'm just looking at the height. I think I might have to adjust the spring on it a little bit. So again, I'm just going to reiterate, I am not a subject matter expert when it comes to van conversions, electrics and all that sort of stuff, and that's just a rough video outlining one of the issues that I had with the MaxxAir Fan, replacing the lowering mechanism and so on and so on. Again, like I say, I'm not an expert, but it works. So again, I just want to reiterate, like, that's the lowering mechanism, that's the original one that is just sheared off, split in between, just by lowering up and down the MaxxAir Fan. So if you are going to be fitting one of these and traveling with these, just bear in mind to keep a check on the lowering mechanism, the motor part of it. So, or carry a spare. Now, like I said, I'll leave a link in the video description for you of where I got one of these from, but also thankfully mine was still under warranty, so I got a spare part. So I've got the spare part which is now fitted to the MaxxAir Fan, and a spare in the van for future, just in case it happens again. But like I say, that's just a brief overview of how I changed the lowering mechanism. It now works, it's fine, no issues. Also went for a drive with Archie yesterday after we fitted it, and it's no longer making a noise when we're driving along or bouncing around, which is the main thing, because the noises freak Archie out. So overall, happy. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps anybody out there that has probably got an issue like it and is thinking of rectifying the issue. And we'll see you on the next video soon. Take care, bye bye.